Welcome back, everybody, to the show. You know, we are in dark times, and I know a lot of you are feeling a little bit down. And so one of the things I feel like I have an obligation to do is from time to time bring you a story that is a little bit more fun, a little bit more hopeful. And that's what I have for you today. We are now, according to the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, closer than ever to global catastrophe. Feel better? Now, here's what you could feel better about. Do you feel heard? Because we're like, this feels kind of crazy the moment that we're in globally, domestically. Scientists are telling you in a more empirical way, shit crazy, right? So this is what they're telling us. And so this is an organization, I'll show you the big announcement, but it's called the Bulletin of Did I say that before? Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. I think I said economic. Atomic. That's important. And they have something, it's metaphorical, a doomsday clock. So when I tell you 85 seconds, don't like go say your final goodbye because you think that you only have 85 seconds. Not literally 85 seconds. But they use time terminology to depict how close to quote unquote midnight we are as a global civilization. At midnight, from the reading that I did in the different scientific papers, is bad. Where we don't want to be. So we want to be far away from midnight. And now we're closer than ever in the history of this organization tracking to global catastrophe. So I had a really good bowl of ice cream last night though. So like there's still good things. It's just we're closer to real bad. The doomsday clock, a metaphorical timepiece meant to depict how close humanity is to destruction, ticks closer than ever to midnight on Tuesday, 85 seconds to the stroke of doom. It is the grimmest outlook yet on Earth's future from the clock's creators, a nonprofit organization and publication called the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists that has set the clock each year since 1947. Tensions between nuclear powers, failures in climate action, disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence, and the rise of autocracy are among the reasons that the Bulletin's experts in global security, climate, and nuclear scientists cited for advancing it 4 seconds from last year. So you can see here visualized over the last many decades where we have been. So like in the 90s, we were all the way at 16 minutes to midnight. Really, really far away. Now we're down to 85 seconds. And then in reading, like, what does that mean? It's just some sort of total destructive nuclear war scale catastrophe. And the weirdest part of me reading this is I after I had this reaction, I went, no, because I had that reaction, we need to talk about it on today's show. But my initial reaction was this. Okay, ready? I'm scrolling. There's like some person screaming 6'7", and then I scroll a little bit further, and there's like some story about Kim Kardashian. I scroll a little bit further. It says doomsday clock ticks closer than ever to apocalypse. Scroll like fast, just boom, and then it's Trump saying, "What if a bomb dropped on your head or something?
What if a bomb drops on your head right now?"
Keep scrolling. That is not healthy. The world is so crazy right now. And we're so numb to everything that genuinely I was like, okay. Like I know. We are close to global catastrophe. I'm like, it gets worse? We're not even there yet? Just tell me we're at midnight. It gets worse? Here's some reporting on this. While we continue through, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate this show. Because at some point, it's going to be too late to subscribe in 85 seconds. So, tick-tock, girl.
The Doomsday Clock, representing how near humanity is to catastrophe, has moved closer to midnight than ever before.
Every year there's a meeting to assess the risk of global catastrophe and set the doomsday clock.
The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, which set up the metaphorical clock at the start of the Cold War, moved its time to 85 seconds to midnight, after consultations with a board that includes 8 Nobel laureates.
It is now 85 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight. It is the determination of the Bulletin's Science and Security Board that humanity has not made sufficient progress on the existential risks that endanger us all. We thus move the clock forward. Every second counts, and we are running out of time.
So this is just so you know, in case you haven't heard about this, you're probably like, what even is this? This is spooky. It actually is a big deal, and I'm not meaning to make light of it, but I mean, what are we gonna do? I only have 85 seconds left to be funny, so let's just go for it. But it's actually like a really iconic organization. And this doomsday clock they do take a lot into consideration, and it's global cooperation. It's what's going on with nuclear weapons. It's how are we dealing with major crises? How are we preventing pandemics, etc. And one of the things, as I was reminding myself, I've heard of this. I'll just be totally frank with you. I heard of it through watching the show Madam Secretary. So that's kind of how I knew about it. But it was referencing it. And so then in kind of trying to revamp what I thought that I knew about it, I was reminded that they go through, maybe this is in the New York Times piece, they go through the reasons why, and it's like because of the Trump style ideology. So whenever people say we have Trump derangement syndrome, the scientists are telling us to be out of our mind about this. Like, here's some quotes. Catastrophic risks are on the rise. Cooperation, which Trump is on the decline, and we are running out of time. Change is both necessary and possible, but the global community must demand swift action from their leaders. Anti-nuclear activists were paying attention to the doomsday clock, especially those working with survivors of the atomic bombings in Japan at the end of World War II. This is a warning that we need to take urgent action to avoid global catastrophe. We should know that the risk of nuclear war is the highest since the end of the Cold War. And so it goes through somewhere that I was reading, kind of the rise of nationalism, the breaking away from international cooperation, the might makes right ideology being exhibited from Trump in the United States, obviously the most powerful country, very relevant, and also other countries. They called out Russia and China, and that crumbling of an international order that was helpful for a while is a big contributing factor. Why do I bring that up? Well, because it's true and interesting, but also because you might remember that for so long it was the right wing who even would go a little bit overboard with the fear-mongering about like nuclear holocaust anytime Biden wanted to support an ally. Like if he said, oh, I'm going to give some aid to Ukraine because they shouldn't be invaded by Russia, all of the anti-Ukraine, pro-Russian right-wing influencers would go, Biden's trying to stoke nuclear war, right? This is a warmonger. But then it's actually, in many ways, an ideology they're more aligned with that is destabilizing the globe and getting us closer to midnight, as outlined in this analysis. Like, for example, do you remember this? Tulsi Gabbard, Jane, you can put this up. Trump's director of national intelligence dropped ominous video warning warmongers are trying to spark nuclear war. But she's been so quiet about this after Trump has been escalatory.
In just minutes. Just one of these nuclear bombs would vaporize everything at its core. People, buildings, life itself. The shockwave would crush structures miles away, killing and maiming countless people. And then comes the fallout. Radioactive poison spreading through the air, water, and soil, condemning survivors to agonizing deaths or lifelong suffering. A nuclear winter could follow, with smoke and ash completely blocking the sun, plunging the world into darkness and cold, killing crops and starving billions. Acid rain would scar the earth, wiping out entire ecosystems. This isn't some made-up science fiction story. This is the reality of what's at stake, what we are facing now. Because as we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. Perhaps it's because they are confident that they will have...
So she posted this. Let's see. This was June 10th, 2025. So Trump was president and she was in his administration. And of course, my response was like, wait, what? Then cut it out, like tell them to stop if that's what they're doing. It's like she made the video during Biden's term when anytime Biden did anything that they didn't like, they would say he's pushing. And the one just to kind of demonstrate the dishonesty that I would point to was the Ukraine example, because he would be like, hey, here's aid, and they'd be like, you're trying to spark nuclear war. You have to let Russia just take all of Ukraine. Otherwise, you're saying you want nuclear war. And it was all that. Alex Jones sells like get ready for the apocalypse kits. And I remember, I'm pretty sure one of the companies that has worked with him or was like using him as an example called me one time wanting to advertise. It's like, you can tell your followers you never know when suddenly there'll be a zombie apocalypse and you'll need 500 tons of dried food and you'll need the survival kits, and they stoke the fear. The globalists are trying to get us into nuclear war because they have the bunkers that they can go into, and they don't care about you, and they want to make you eat bugs, and that's why we can't ever cooperate thoughtfully with international institutions, and that's why we should just let Europe go to hell, and we should never support our hell. And they'll be saying all that until it's Trump being pointed at as an escalatory factor, and ideologies like him in other countries, allies of his in other countries, people he glazes leading other countries, that's contributing to us being closer. And then it's mum's the word. I don't hear a peep about we need Trump to de-escalate or to work better with leaders across the world to bring about cooperative relationships that are being obliterated, that are necessary to solving these problems and preventing something catastrophic. So that's kind of an irritating element of this too. But I also don't see almost anyone talking about that. Like, you have this renowned organization being like, well, this is bad. We're in a bad moment. And people are thinking, what's going on with what's her face with the Taylor Swift texts? What's that person's name? Come on, Baldoni and Blake Lively. What's happening with Blake? Right, we want to hear more about Blake Lively. Was Taylor at the apartment? Why are they not friends anymore? Did Taylor feel used by Blake? That's what we want to hear about. Don't tell me about this. There could be nuclear war. That's where people's headspaces are at. And also, like I said before, this whole breaking news, we're closer than ever to global catastrophe. I'm like, yeah. Well, then call me a member of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, because I've been saying that for a while. I mean, we have Asmongold saying he might run for president. Yeah, it's almost bye-bye time.
So that's the way I see it. And you should be in the White House. Look. I will say that there's a chance that something might happen. Honestly,
I'm surprised we're not 1 second to midnight in a world where that's happening. My friend and yours, Harry Sisson, is having members of the Trump White House, the president's White House in the United States of freaking America, is having people publicly talking about spanking an online influencer, Harry Sisson. Stephen Chung, you remember that interview? Go watch it. It's titled, Trump is Coming After Me, from the Perspective of Harry. Go watch it. Didn't get enough views, honestly. It's a good interview. We had a good time. But Stephen Chung here, he's like, oh, I bet if I spanked Harry, he's the White House communications director. If I spanked Harry, he'd like it. The White House, the president. Of course, this guy is like a huge influencer.
My top drugs are meth, ketamine, Adderall, steroids, peptides. I do it all.
So I respect the hell out of the Bulletin and the Doomsday Clock. And the Doomsday Clock in here has been a ticking for a while. But also, here's a hopeful thing, right? Look at this. Look at it again. Now here's the hopeful thing. Look, it's gotten close before, and then it's gone up, meaning away from midnight, away from destruction. So it's not hopeless. We've got 85 seconds. We can turn the trend around, and that's our
well, we all are going to die.
Hey. Chill. Okay, have you ever heard of that? Chill.